Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kiani Igwe. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a project manager with Griffin & Strong, which is the firm contracted by the county to conduct this disparity study. Today, we'll be hosting the third of our public meetings as part of our anecdotal collection. And I'm so grateful that you all are here and really looking forward to hearing from you. In just a moment, we're going to open the floor for comments, but I want to be clear, the purpose of this meeting is to have a candid conversation about your experience doing business or attempting to do business with Henry County government. We understand as a firm owner, you may have done business with other municipalities or governments, but this study is particularly about Henry County. We also are collecting commentary across the spectrum. We want to hear positive, negative, in between, all of the above about doing business or attempting to do business. Everything you say in this meeting will be available for public record, but we are going to make it anonymous. So your name won't be attached to the comments that you provide here. Our final report will publish business names or personal names attached to that testimony and comments. The purpose of this conversation is just commentary. If you do have questions about the study, about getting connected with Henry County, how do I do business? Why isn't this working? We want to connect you with the right people, but that isn't the purpose of this call. I'll provide my contact information as well as the study information in the chat so that we can have that conversation after this call or via a different format. When you do provide your comments, we do ask just to make sure that we understand who it's coming from in our notes, that you state your name and your firm for the record. I want to be clear that as we open the floor, it might get a little wieldy as we have quite a few people on the call. So if you could either use your Zoom chat hand raise function, or if you don't know how to use that, you're welcome to turn your video on and just raise your physical hand. And I'll try to make sure that I get to everyone. Are there any questions before we get started? Okie dokie. I will ask a couple of questions, but my job will be to be a fly on the wall. You'll see me taking notes and clarifying things in the chat. The first question is to describe your experience doing business with Henry County. How would you describe your experience doing business with Henry County?
So I apologize. Are we to raise our hands when we want to speak? Is that the process?
You can raise your physical hand or use the Zoom chat raise hand function. Either way is fine.
Oh.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How to describe my business with doing, or how to describe doing business with Henry County. I had a great experience doing business with Henry County. Had a couple projects. The process for doing business with Henry County is very clear, you know, in their RFPs, in their communications with you as a vendor. For I had two projects. One was I was actually engaged to evaluate the spend of MBEs and a couple of other things. And so they were collaborative. You know, I have a lot of experience working with doing consulting gigs, and some clients, you can't get them to respond when you need them to in terms of, you know, getting information back to them on reports. But I had a great experience, very collaborative. The process was clear. The feedback, I was able to get feedback even after we finished the program on our services. So we had a good experience.
Thank you so much.
I'll go next.
Yes, please.
I'm Stephen Gamble, Contract Business Interiors. We are a 21-year-old firm. Our core space is commercial office furniture. And to Henry County and several other counties and municipalities, the tool that is of ease is that we work with the state of Georgia contracts. what that contract allows is the fact that the procurement process is already vetted. Any qualifying entity that we sell using that tool to can buy a given item for the same price that the governor's office could buy that same item for. So the pricing is already vetted. The challenge that we have faced is the same tool that makes it convenient for them to work with me makes it convenient for them to work with someone other than me, someone perhaps who doesn't look like me that they want to work with as opposed to me. So we know the importance of building relationships, and that has been our success for 21 years, but we have not had success with Henry County in that we could not get to the right people to have the success type that is our business. So the other challenge that I think we face is in your disparity study, we're not going to show up because on state of Georgia contract, because the contracts are held by the respective manufacturers that we represent. Once we write a specification for a client, in other words, prepare a quotation for a client, the goods that they're going to buy will be bought from that respective manufacturer in care of us. And that's likewise who's going to invoice them once those goods ship and we install. It would be an invoice that they will receive from the manufacturer. So only in the in care of space does my company's name show up. Otherwise, it's a challenge for you to recognize this is almost like second tier opportunity. It's what it boils down to. But it's space and activity that we wholeheartedly appreciate and work in with other municipalities, other counties. But that's the challenge. How would you track and promote second tier activity and respect it as meaningful to a DBE firm? We love it, live it, and breathe it. But I don't know how easily you can track that if you're trying to have, be able to track activity between me and Henry County that's not showing up as state contract activity.
Thank you, Mr. Gamble. Yes, ma'am, Ms. Webb.
Good afternoon, everyone. My company is Breakthrough Solutions Janitorial Supply, and we do a lot of business with local government entities. We've been in business for more than 10 years. I can't complain totally about the experience with Henry County, but it has been very difficult with being able to meet with someone. I did get registered and they were helpful in that process. They explained to me that they have a janitorial contractor who provides the supplies. I reached out to that company with no success, but I also reached out to the sheriff's office and was not able to get a meeting with them. So I guess just better access with actually being able to meet with someone, because I know even though they have a janitorial contract for the county, most of the sheriff's offices will purchase their own supplies. And we have a wide variety, including PPE, paper products, and some food service supplies. So that's my challenge, is just trying to get in to meet with someone.
Thank you, Ms. Webb, for your comment. Ms. Nguyen, did you have an additional comment? I saw your hand raise and then go down.
Not really. It was a couple of things I wanted to share about, I guess, my experience, but even about my company. But I'll let others speak if their hands are raised.
Ms. Page and then Ms. Kershaw.
Hello, my name is Kaya Page. I am the owner of Page Testing Solutions. I have not did any business with Henry County. I am looking forward to doing business with Henry County. I am also DBE certified, so I just registered with Henry County, so I am looking forward to doing business with.
Thank you so much. Ms. Kershaw, I apologize if I'm getting the title wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, that's fine. Hi, I'm Adrienne Kershaw. I'm the owner of Stay Care. We are a facilities maintenance company. We also do business with several other municipalities and state and federal government. But for me, with Henry County, I found that not only looking at the things that go out for public bid, right? But we all know that a lot of the work doesn't go out for public bid. So getting to the person, getting to the office that has control over that, I feel like has been extremely difficult. I mean, I've called, I've spoken to individuals on the phone, I've sent emails, I've even asked them about their minority goals and how can we help them to meet those, and really got, all I got was an email sent back with like a printed, what's on their webpage. Like, we don't have any minority goals, basically. But then the study comes out, so clearly maybe something is missing. But that to me is the biggest issue, is getting to not just the things that are going out for public bid, but the things that are being sole sourced, the things that are being given by simplified acquisition procedures. I think having access to those would be very helpful to our businesses.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Ms. Barbosa, again, if I'm getting the title wrong, please correct me.
Thank you. You have it correct. Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, better yet. Jennifer Barbosa. I own International Supply Partners, and we supply medical, office, janitorial, industrial supplies and equipment, working direct with manufacturers. The challenge that I've had with Henry County is, again, just echoing the young lady who spoke before me in reference to the lack of communication and responses. Also, it seems that, there's the same equal process, whatever is convenient or what the departments are accustomed to, without even consideration of what opportunities there may be in other suppliers or providers that can meet or exceed, whether it's in cost or service or product that can be fulfilled. Also, I've attempted in trying to do the same thing in regards to small orders, direct, as well as even having an opportunity in supplying to contractors on specific projects, and have not had the support, especially in contracts that require specific minority participation, where we can check off those boxes as a MBE, DBE, and women-owned certified company. And we can assist in those projects, but have not gotten any response or support from Henry County in getting that visibility.
Thank you for your comment. We appreciate it. Ms. Hall.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nicole McGee Hall, the owner and managing principal of Nickel Works Consulting. Our focus is on community development and economic development services. And to answer the question regarding my experience, I think mine may be a little bit different, providing a service that is a niche. We've had the opportunity to work with Henry County Development Authority, as well as with Henry County government. And the overall process has been good. They're responsive. A lot of our work is by word of mouth from having worked in other counties and other cities and municipalities around the metro area, especially as it relates to like community improvement districts, where we kind of are known in that space. Our issue is really in not seeing a lot of their like proposals. We also do provide planning services. And so in the sense where there may be request for proposals put out, we're relying on the prime companies to potentially let us know about what may be happening in an opportunity to team. The other situation is we deal with the elected officials. We have to go through the process of putting things on the Board of Commissioners agenda, and that has been honestly a challenge. I know you said that this would be, I guess this is a safe space because in what I do, it requires a lot of, we have to go through the legislative process, and that has really been a challenge for us. I don't know how that can really be resolved or really addressed in this study. I think it's something that I have actually witnessed or experienced, that it's not just our firm. It's just a kind of the way it is with the elected officials that may be previously and currently in office. So that's my feedback.
Thank you, Ms. Hall. We appreciate your comment. Ms. Bowman.
Hello, my name is Denise Bowman. We are a general contractor, commercial construction. We are in Henry County. We've been in Henry County since 1981. We actually built the building that the commissioners are in. We have, in the past 4 years, completed around $14 million worth of work for the county. We are currently doing 2 construction projects, one at JP Mosley and one at Cochran Park. I will say for us, the bidding process has been easy. If you go to the website, if you go to the Board of Commissioners website, if you go to purchasing, if you go to open bids, everything that you need to know that they are bidding is right there on their website for everyone to see. If you want to know things that were done previously, look at the things that were closed. For the people that are that have commented so far, reach out to the people that got the contract and see if there's something that you can offer to them. I would just say, I signed up to be on here just because everyone in our office lives in Henry County. So we are very invested in our community, and we love to do work for Henry County. On the flip side of that, my dad was a commissioner for 8 years back in the early 2000s. So we have a little bit of an understanding on how the government part of it works. But I would say just go around to the website. You can see everything. And also too, reach out to the commissioners, reach out to the chair, reach out to the county manager. Ms. Matthews is always willing to talk to anybody. So, I hate to hear that people are having the kind of problems they're having, because that's not anything we've ever experienced. And like I said, we're 100% woman owned. The other clients that we work with, we have huge diversity goals that we have to meet every single month. And we meet them easily every single month. And if, send me your information. We would love to talk to anybody who's been commenting. Because we have really strived, especially in these past projects, to use contractors that are in the county, and to use other woman-owned, minority-owned businesses. We're very passionate about that. My mom is the owner. We have more women in our office than men. And like I said, we're a general contractor, and we did the Henry County Fire Station number 8, the Fairview Fire Station, the Fairview Police Department, a project out at the airport, a pole barn for the county, a sports complex at Fairview, Heritage Fitness Senior Center. And currently we're designing and building Mickey Cochran's Park up in Stockbridge. So we would love to talk to any of you guys if there's anything that we can help or that you might can help us with on our projects. Please reach out. But I would encourage everyone to use the website and reach out to the county manager and the chair. The chair she loves to talk to people. I've had many conversations with her. I don't reach out to her because they really want to do all that. So that's really all I have. I'm very passionate about it. I could keep going, but that's all I have.
Thank you, Ms. Bowman. Mr. McDuffie, I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah, how you doing? My name is Donnell McDuffie, and I'm the owner operator of Elevation Inspections, the only minority owned elevator inspection company in Georgia. And my question is, I never see any jobs to bid on for elevator inspectors. And I was just wondering, is that something that, because this is a government operation, is only going to go to the state, or is the county open to hiring third party as well?
So I'm not able to answer questions on this call, but if you'd like to
Okay.
provide your email to me in the chat, I'm going to make sure to connect you with the right people.
Okay, thanks.
Of course. Thank you so much to everyone who's provided their commentary already. We really appreciate it. Even as we have various opinions, it's really helpful to paint a full picture of what's happening in the county. I mentioned this in the chat, but if you're in a position where you cannot speak, maybe there are animals or tiny humans in your space, you're in the middle of doing something else, please feel free to provide your commentary in the chat. You can do that either to me directly if you'd like it to be private, or you can provide it to everyone to initiate a conversation. The question on the table right now is to describe your experience doing business with Henry County, and I'm glad to hear more responses to that question, but want to offer an additional one. If you'd like to describe your experience attempting to do business with Henry County, that initial process. We've talked a little bit about communication, about getting in contact with the right people. If you'd like to talk about the bid process and bid packages, RFPs, we'd love to hear any and all commentary about the process of attempting to do business with the county. Thank you so much. Thank you for the comments you're providing in the chat, both directly and to everyone. I greatly appreciate it. This call is scheduled for a full hour, but as we have comments, we will stay on the call. And if we have exhausted the conversation, we'll end it early and give you back your time. I want to leave the forum open, however, to provide commentary, and want to reiterate that the more commentary we have from those of you who are present, the better. The purpose of this call is part of our anecdotal data collection, which goes against our quantitative data we're collecting from the county spin, our statistical analysis, up against our conversation about the policies of the county, as well as a look at the private sector to create a full picture of what it's like to do business in Henry County and whether or not a disparity exists. So the more information we receive from those of you who are actually conducting business or attempting to do business with Henry County, the fuller and more accurate that picture will be. The question on the table presently is, what has been your experience doing business or attempting to do business with Henry County? Yes, ma'am.
So I'm going to just add to, I guess, a couple of comments I said, and just suggestions for the other individuals on the phone that want to do business with Henry County. It's important for you to check the website, as often as you can. Maybe have something set up on your calendar to check it for solicitations. I checked it right before I joined this call, just as I hadn't done it for a week or so, and identified new opportunities. And then also, if you do respond to an RFP, ask for a debrief. That's an opportunity for you to get in front of one of the procurement folks or to meet someone as part of that organization. That was all I was going to add. And just more about my business. I didn't get a chance. I didn't give an introduction, and I apologize for that. But we provide management consultant services in 3 areas: project program management, business process improvement, and performance management, which includes organizational change, training, and other performance management solutions. We're actually headquartered in Decatur, Georgia, but we do business throughout the United States. So that's all I was going to add.
Thank you, Ms. Nguyen. Ms. Hall, I can see that you're unmuted. You have something you wanted to add?
Yes, I did want to add something. Actually, it's in kind of a piggyback to Charlotte's comment. In working with other counties, we receive notices based on our NAICS code or NGIP code. That's automatic. I can respect what Denise said and Charlotte about checking the website regularly. Some companies have people that can do that regularly, to do that, but others do not. And so Fulton County, I know it's the largest county in Georgia, but Clayton County, Fulton County, DeKalb County, one of the things that they do is send out those notices about things that are coming, down the pipe. And I think that would be something that would be good for Henry County to consider. And it opens up the opportunities for teaming. But if it's something that is in your purview as far as your NAICS code or your NGIP code, then it's very helpful. I mean, I don't dispute checking the website. I just think this may be something that they should consider in an effort to help make it more open for people to find out about those opportunities.
So you're saying that, so right now today, they post their opportunities through that Georgia Market Registry that sends out, just like DeKalb and Fulton County, their opportunities. Are you saying that in addition to that, they should send something out to the individuals on their vendor list?
Yes, and I'm sure Fulton County's vendor list is pretty large and extensive. I can't say if it's going out just to the women and minorities. I just know that I get some from Henry County, Fulton County, Clayton County. Yes, that is not just coming from the state.
I do too. I get something from either other states, but what is linked to is maybe it's their vendor database that I think they need to link it to, because for state of California, Philadelphia, I get them from, to your point, but it's all part of the portal that I'm registered on. So maybe that's the opportunity to suggest to Henry County to link something in their portal to automatically send that out to us. like they do, those notices. That's a good suggestion.
Yeah, just for clarity, I think that for Fulton, it's actually coming from the local procurement. It's the admin in that department and the purchasing department. So I don't think it's coming directly. It could be still linked, but she is literally sending it out, and the same thing for Clayton County, sending out the opportunities. So I agree, some type of automation would be very helpful for broadening the opportunity to see what's out there for more people to respond. So good to see you, Charlotte.
Thank you both for your comments. Ms. Bowman, I see your hand is raised, and then Mr. Taunton.
So I believe, I don't know about the other fields, but for construction, if you register with the county, when they list something with that procurement website, you will get an email that tells you that something is available to take a look at it. I don't know if it's that way with some of these other fields that are on the call, but I know for construction, it is that way. I just wanted to throw that out there because they do offer that.
Thank you so much, Ms. Bowman. Mr. Taunton?
Yeah, so I guess my question is that, I've tried to do business with Henry. Matter of fact, I live in Henry County, and I rarely see opportunities in Henry County. Now, we're a executive search and professional staffing firm, and I guess probably in the last 5 years, the only thing that we've seen come out from a human capital standpoint was an executive search for city manager, which we didn't hear who received that search or what have you. But is there any type of outreach that Henry County does to get to know some of the procurement people? Because it seems as though that when trying to call or even trying to just schedule or meet, it's just, in my opinion, in my experience, in years past, it's always sort of kind of been a pushback.
Thank you, Mr. Taunton. If other folks have response to that question, you're welcome to answer it. We, as the firm conducting the study, are not answering questions on this call, but I'm more than happy to take your contact information and connect you with the right people to get that question answered. If it is just a suggestion for further outreach, I'll make note of that in my notes. If no one has a response to Mr. Taunton's question, Ms. Shaw, you can go ahead and provide your comment.
Hi. So just to piggyback on what the gentleman just said, I know we have actually reached out to have Henry County come and talk about their procurement, and it did not move forward as a result of the county's position. So I do think they need to do a little bit more on the outreach side, especially with established business organizations. And they definitely can do a better job. The other young lady mentioned Fulton County. We have hosted a how to do business with Fulton County, and I will say it is like night and day for Henry and Fulton. And Fulton, they actually are very proactive in making sure that they're putting out information, sending out information, letting us know what type of opportunities are available for women-owned, minority-owned businesses. I've never, ever received any of that type of information from Henry County.
Noted. Thank you, Ms. Shaw. Ms. Kershaw, you have an additional comment?
I do. I just wanted to, no, I'm back. Okay, I lost it, sorry. But so the point that I was speaking to earlier about, the smaller threshold contracts, I think sometimes when we're looking on the website, if you read, it clearly states that the things that are going up for competitive bid meet a certain price threshold, right? And for some larger companies, that's what they're going after. But there are companies who could perform some of those smaller opportunities. So I just wanted to be really clear that being able to access those opportunities or knowing where to find them is very important to some small businesses, because I too have been registered in Henry County. I live in Henry County. I own property in Henry County. My kids are educated here. Like, my business is here. So I definitely am looking to do business within my own county. But one of the things I wanted to suggest, maybe to jot down to them, is I know that Clayton County has a SLBE certification, and that's a small local business enterprise. And that allows them to really scale down to their county. Now, I'm a part of that because, of course, I can be a part of that being in Henry County, but that's a suggestion also to maybe let them do that so they can know who is directly in their county and offers what it is that they're looking for.
Thank you, Ms. Kershaw, for your comment. We appreciate it. There is an individual with the last name Terari who is unmuted. I'm not sure if you meant to be unmuted to provide your comment, but if you did, please feel free to provide your comment now. This conversation does lead us into our last question, is in addition to the commentary you're providing about doing business or attempting to do business with Henry County, positive, negative, and everything in between, we would love to continue to hear some of those commendations or recommendations about doing business with Henry County. We've heard some about direct emails, we've heard some about outreach, but if you have any additional commendations or things you think the county is doing well, would like to see them continue, or recommendations, things you may be seen in other municipalities and would like to see Henry County initiate, we'd love to hear those now. Again, you're welcome to provide those by raising your physical hand if your video is on, using your raise hand function on Zoom, or in the chat directly to me or to everyone. Yes, sir. Mr. Ali, please go ahead.
Yes, my name is Yusuf Ali. My wife and I, we own American Logistics International, Inc. We're located in Hampton, Georgia, but we are somewhat an international company as well. Over the last 40 years, what we have witnessed and experienced, and especially here in Henry County, is a more of a structural restriction. For example, there used to be multiple ways to provide the county with a surety or a bond. You used to could have a corporate bond or an individual bond or a cashier check. Most of the construction contract now only allow for corporate bonds. That has presented a huge obstacle for smaller companies, only because the surety company have their means of qualifying company for corporate bonds. And it's sometimes a little stringent, so that eliminate a lot of the smaller contractor from accessing a lot of the contract that are out for bid, because they can't get the corporate bond, but they can get individual surety bond if they were allowed. So I would like to see the county reintroduce more than one type of surety, be it more specifically the individual surety bond. And I think that will help tremendously. And another area that we have during our 40 years of doing business throughout Georgia and the United States is the method in which the contract or procurement is handled. Many times the language is prohibited. For example, they may have a contract with Henry County that is $25,000, and it may only take a pickup truck and a push mower to perform the job. But the requirement is that you must have 15 trucks and, you know, tens of a commercial lawnmower to do that same small job. So I think in line with keeping the small job relegated to small businesses, I think that would help too if they would reintroduce or classify or reduce some of the language that would allow a person with just a pickup truck to get in where they fit in at.
Thank you, Mr. Ali, for your comments and the specificity of them. We appreciate it. Ms. Nguyen?
Couple things, just suggestions, and Henry County may be doing this already, but I'm not sure. But one is having regularly held like capabilities or opportunities for vendors to present their capabilities, like a standing meeting each month, call it office hours. You know, a lot of the organizations do that as well. And then the other thing is, I had to drop off the call for a second, but I heard someone saying they had a staffing company and they didn't see many opportunities. I run into that as well because I'm a professional services organization. And I think most of the opportunities I've seen come out of Henry County is more on the construction side. Where I think, or technical side, where I think the opportunity for Henry County is to unbundle some of those solicitations, to pull out some of the professional services as separate solicitations. For example, you know, program managers, project managers can pretty much manage, if they're good certified project leaders, certify any project regardless of the industry. But to, I think, Yusuf's point, if the requirements are, I have to have, you know, a bond, that's not something typical of professional services would do for construction services. The bond for commercial services is different for construction. So if project and program management is inside of that, for the larger construction deals are buried inside of that solicitation, then the professional services teams typically won't have an opportunity for work at Henry County. Because I think the majority of the work is roads and drainage, you know, lights, you know, there's not a lot of professional services opportunities, not just with Fulton County, but Henry County, but other counties, agencies. So the two opportunities, unbundling the services in some cases, or looking at that. And then the other one would be having regularly held times every month, once a month, for people who register, you know, to present their capabilities to the procurement team.
Thank you so much for those. I appreciate it. We are coming near the end of the hour and wanted to remind everyone of the questions on the table as well as opportunities to provide commentary. So right now we're talking about commendations and recommendations to the county. That can be things you see they're doing well, would like to see them continue, or things you'd like to see them initiate, or even things you'd like to see them stop, if that would be helpful to you in doing business or attempting to do business with Henry County. We're collecting all sorts of commentary, positive, negative, and everything in between, and greatly appreciate your candor, as these comments will be anonymous. If you'd like to provide a comment, you can either raise your physical hand like Mr. Ali did, use your raise hand function like Charlotte has been doing, or you can provide your comments in the chat. Those can be directly to me or to everyone. If at some point you decide that you have commentary you haven't provided, or I don't know if I can type all this out right now, I will be providing the county study email in the chat at the end of our conversation if you have a longer comment you'd like to provide via email. Ms. Burnett, please go ahead.
Thank you. On behalf of our industry, which is termite and pest control, what we have found to be an issue across the board in most municipalities and industries, entities, when they're asking for pest control services and for bids, is that they always say that it has to be the lowest bid as far as the solicitation is concerned. And what we have experienced is that when the bids are so low, then you're not able to perform the services that they're actually requiring. And so that has knocked us out because we actually bid according to what it will actually take in order to perform. And so, you know, many times and in several instances, the entity would go with the lowest bid solicitation, which I think they should reconsider and try to position it in such a way to the best, just consider the best bid or the best bid for the job instead of just going with the lowest without any other considerations of what they're actually getting. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Ms. Burnett, for your comment. We appreciate it. Yes, Ms. Kershaw, please go ahead.
I do have an additional suggestion that I've also noticed with some of the other municipalities that we do business with. I don't see anything, and this is a very small niche group, so sorry to anybody that I'm excluding, but I don't see anything that particularly is for like the veteran population. Like sometimes they'll have like even separate veteran groups that are within the county, or maybe I'm missing it, or, that they set aside for certain opportunities. But I mean, it's always good to ask. Maybe that's something that they can add to their list of things as well.
Thank you, Ms. Kershaw. We appreciate that comment. Yes, ma'am, Ms. Hall.
Hi. I wanted to add another comment about something that I've seen with other jurisdictions. I know someone mentioned about the veterans. I know that that's usually contained within the minority veterans, women-owned businesses as far as certifications. For Henry County, one of the things that I suggest is that they actually develop a program that is specific. I don't remember who I had the interview with, but that question came up: do they actually have a program? Someone mentioned Clayton County has the SL, the small local business. DeKalb has theirs. So I think that's something that they could develop that's specific to Henry. I'm not in Henry, but I know that that's definitely helpful for those businesses that are there. The other thing is that there are opportunities for the purchasing or the procurement departments to like go to different types of conferences. And those conferences typically will have Fulton County, DeKalb County, Clayton County, and a new county that has emerged is Gwinnett County. And so that may be an opportunity for Henry County to be there, and we can get to know their procurement people, because right now I deal mostly with the elected officials and the higher level, leadership. I'm not that familiar with procurement, the purchasing department. And I think that would be helpful as well, to have them to participate, because it doesn't seem that they're doing that now. And then the third thing, so I'm very active with the Women's Transportation Seminar, and that organization, we actually have invited these different procurement departments or purchasing departments, however you want to call it, to come out and get to meet the small businesses as well as the primes. And I'm not positive if we did it for Henry County, but we are having one that's coming up in October, and I'm on the planning committee. And so if someone from the Henry County Purchasing Department would like to come and talk about the upcoming projects and bids that they may have, that is an audience. I'm an engineering-based company, and so I know that for cities and counties, there are a lot of, those types of services, professional services, but there are other things as well. We don't do it with Women's Transportation Seminar, but hopefully those things that I've mentioned could be something that would be beneficial to some of the other companies and the types of products that they provide.
Thank you so much for that, Ms. Hall. That was very helpful. Thank you so much for those comments and suggestions. We are coming to the end of our time together this afternoon, so I want to reiterate a couple of things and provide a final opportunity to provide commentary. The purpose of this call, as part of our disparity study we are conducting on behalf of Henry County, is to collect candid commentary about experiences doing business or attempting to do business with Henry County. This will go up against our statistical analysis of the quantitative data from the county, as well as a look at the private sector and individual interviews, focus groups, as well as a look at the policies of Henry County to create a full picture of what it's like doing business or attempting to do business with Henry County across various race, ethnicity, and gender groups. Thank you so much for the candor of your comments this afternoon. They'll be super helpful as we put together that picture. If you have remaining commentary, I will stay on the call to hear it, as we do have 8 minutes left in our call today. You're welcome to provide that either in the chat directly to me, to everyone, by raising your physical hand or using your raise hand function on Zoom. If you find that you don't feel comfortable providing your commentary here and use on Zoom, or you need to collect your thoughts and would rather provide them at a later point, I have provided the study email in the chat, and we'll do so one more time before we get off of the call. If you were someone who was looking for a question to be answered about how to do business with Henry County, specific to your work category or just in general, I have a couple of names marked down. If you would like to be added to that list to be connected with Henry County procurement and purchasing staff, I'll make sure to make those connections via email by the end of the week. Thank you so much for being here, and I will stay on the call for the remaining 7 minutes to collect any more comments or commentary about doing business or attempting to do business with Henry County. I do know you are all very busy firm owners, so if you need to jump off the call, please feel free to do so, but please accept my sincere gratitude for you being here and providing your candid comments. Ms. Hall's asked this question in the chat, and I would like to answer it for everyone who remains on the call, asking when the study will conclude. Our expectation is that it'll be done early next year. We are not a part of rollout. That's up to the county, but I would encourage you to stay connected to the county and encourage them to share the results as you would deem necessary. So we will provide the report to the county. They will decide how they like it rolled out.
Thank you for that.
Yes.